afternoon, Mr. and Ms. Hillman, and today we will be covering your family financial planning. We are a group of advisors from Prominent Advisors, and my name is Ishan Singh.
I'm Harsha Hewitt.
I'm Ibrahim Mana.
And I'm confident. Here's how we'll be structuring this presentation. First, we'll be focused on your debt and taxes. Second, your vehicle and home. Third, your credit card. Fourth, your future savings. Fifth, your retirement. And sixth is your annual budget.
Now I want to focus a little bit on your debt obligations, which you mentioned was your first financial objective and something you wanted to be addressed. First, our strategy was to use the avalanche method, which means that we are paying off the higher interest debt first, which means that we are paying off the higher APR credit card, and then we are transitioning into student loans. This eliminates the chance of accruing interest on these credit cards, and we recommend that the $100 from the student loan and the $90 from the minimum payment from the credit card be allocated towards a distribution of about 50% index funds and 50% blue chip stocks, which will be invested into a 9% annual growth rate fund. And this will allow interest to accrue and be more substantial than only investing into a savings account.
So we're going to use the money that would have previously gone towards paying off your debt, and instead of towards your debt payments, and use it to invest into these stocks. Now let's talk about your taxes. If you open up your packet, you'll notice on one of the pages you'll see our tax planning strategy as well as the tax credits. It's also up here on the board if you didn't get one. When you're getting taxed, there's two things you have to look at: your gross income and your average gross income. Your gross income gets taxed on things like Social Security and Medicare, while your adjusted gross income gets taxed on things like your income tax. So we used a series of deductions in order to make sure you remained within the $89,500 tax bracket and the 12% tax bracket. So as you can see, some of the deductions listed, we had the 401k retirement, your IRA retirement, HSA pre-tax med premiums, which all amounted to $18,000 in deductions. We also deducted $6,000 from HSA and med premiums in your Medicare tax deductibles. And we were able to deduct $2,760 from your college savings. Finally, we deducted $27,700 as a standard deduction, and we added to your adjusted gross income your inheritance tax. Now you'll notice the inheritance tax isn't the total amount that you were inherited from your aunt. This is only $21,000 out of the $24,000 that the aunt had. This is because we wanted to make sure that you were within the 12% tax bracket. Additionally, you can see that we were able to get $4,000 in credit from the child tax credit and the child care dependent tax credit.
So now we're going to be talking about insurances. Here we'll start with health insurance at $437 a month. We're going to be starting with the low premium and high deductible. As you guys are a young family, that won't be needing that much health care. And this is distributed between the health, the vision, and the dental. With auto insurance, you're paying $259 a month. On both cars, the Prius and the SUV that you guys are leasing. And it's going to be a 20% increase from the last time you were paying because Tatum got a speeding ticket, unfortunately. And on home insurance, we're paying $66 a month. Continuing with insurance, we'll be continuing the $7 a month for life insurance because you're still young, like I said, with the health insurance. And over time, we'll be increasing it because you have a higher chance of passing when you're older.
This time we'll be distributing the approximate $32,000 from your inheritance, savings account, and tax refund. First, we'll be accomplishing one of your goals is putting down a down payment for your house. Next, we'll pay off your credit card debt in bulk, and then we'll pay off your student loan debt. We'll also be allocating around $4,000 towards your closing costs for your house, and around $5,000 towards your car down payment.
You can also see a further breakdown in your packet.
Now that we've covered the first financial objective, now I want to transition more into covering the mortgage. And there are two types that we want to analyze today. The conventional loan, which will have a minimum 20% down payment, and the FHA loan, which will have a 10% down payment. However, what we discovered is that there is a Michigan down payment assistance program of about $7,500 of down payment assistance on any of your down payments. And here you can see that the first mortgage is $1,453, However, with only the conventional home loan is $1,677, and this is because with the Michigan down payment program, you will have a lower interest rate because it is more competitive, and this will also mean that you will have a higher interest from that one. However, our preferred mortgage option is the FHA loan, since even though you have a lower down payment, and this will allow you to have PMI, that is not that much of a factor compared to what you will be saving by paying off your credit card debt and the cash you will be freeing up. So with this, the down payment assistance program, we will have a higher monthly payment. However, as you can see with the $4,000 property tax and the HOA fees, we will still be within our budget requirements.
And in addition, we also wanted to reduce the amount we pay as a down payment on the house so that we could purchase the car in addition to paying off all of our loans.
Now we'll talk about the vehicle option, which was Mrs. Hillman's desire to get another car. So first we're going to be selling the 04 Chevy Silverado for roughly around $1,000 because it's quite broken. There's no use for it at the moment. Now, secondly, we're going to finance this 2018 Toyota Prius for $392 a month for 48 months with a 6.06 APR. The original cost of it was $22,000 with a $5,000 down payment. Now with credit cards, you guys don't use the credit cards now, we've noticed. So we recommend getting this American Express Blue Cash Everyday card because your credit score is kind of low, Mr. Hellman. So it would bring your credit score up, which would decrease the loans and the cost of the loans and whatnot. So this one has 0% intro APR for the first 15 months and cash back on everyday needs such as gas, groceries, online shopping, etc. And there's no annual fees, which is great for your family. There won't be any more income or any more expenses. And if you use this app Intuit Mint, it will help you look at your expenses so you don't forget to pay the credit card.
And you don't spend overboard is the key thing, because we know you had a previous issue of spending too much money on the credit card, which is why you had it locked away. So to solve this, we added the Intuit Mint budgeting app.
Now I want to transition into the fourth goal that you had, which is to save up for Ridley's college tuition. And our goal is to pay off about 50% of Ridley's public in-state college tuition using the MESP 529 college plan. This is our preferred option because there are numerous tax advantages, the main one being after tax and no tax income after you deduct when Ridley turns 18. There's also a gifting feature for both of these accounts, which allows gifts from relatives during birthdays. There's also a higher contribution limit. However, with both of these, there are high annual account management fees, and with the MESP, there's early withdrawal penalties. However, UNES is also a great option because it allows gifting. It is multi-purpose, so if you can transfer the funds if Ridley decides not to go to college to another relative's college, and it also has some bonus referrals and rewards. And also, we have these visuals here, and on the right, you can see that it is only going to accrue about 2 times more interest than a savings account because there are high fees. However, with the MESP, we are meeting that 50% goal and actually going a little bit over by contributing $230 a month. And the benefits of saving early are immense because your money has more time to compound.
Now we're going to move on to your retirement plans. So currently, if you follow our retirement plan, which we set for you, you will accrue $5.9 million by the time you retire. However, I know that you guys said that you think that retirement is a very far away thing, and why should we save now when we can just start saving later on? However, as you can see from the graph there, if you were to wait just 10 more years, you would lose out $3.8 million in savings due to the factors of compounded interest. Now, I'm going to get into how we're going to split up your retirement savings. So we're going to contribute $3,900 or 5% of Tatum's income towards his 401k because that's the maximum amount that his employer will do a 50% match for. For Alex's simple IRA, we will contribute $1,080, which is how much her employer does 100% match for and is 3% of her max contribution. And lastly, we'll contribute to a Roth IRA. A Roth IRA is slightly different from the other two because when you're putting money into the Roth IRA, you don't get deducted when you're putting money into the account, but when you take all the money out of the account, you won't have any tax on it, which is why it's really good because at the end of your life, when you're putting your money out, a lot of it goes to taxes. So we'll be contributing the maximum amount of $6,500 towards that. So you can see from the pie chart up there, $3 million will come from Tad's 401k, $1 million from Alex's, and $1.9 million from the Roth IRA. Now, how we're gonna grow your money within the retirement fund. First, we're gonna start it in a Vanguard Target Date Fund. The Target Date Fund makes use of the glide path, which reduces your risk as you get closer towards your retirement date. It has an 8.5% return, and it doesn't have much expense. In addition, we are also going to invest 30% of it in the S&P 500, which has an annual average return of 12%. Finally, we're going to invest 20% of it into an IEFA, which is an ETF that has stocks from all over the globe. So if anything was to happen in the US, this portion of your stocks would not be affected as much.
Your son would distribute your $114,000 annual salary or $9,500 monthly. Take a close look at this graph on your second to last page in the packet. First, we'll be distributing 15% of the monthly savings, or approximately $1,500 towards your savings, and the other 85% will be allocated towards your expenses, like taxes, housing, and utilities.
So you can see a little bit more of a breakdown, by the way. At the very last page in your packet, there's a further breakdown of the budget with way more specifics. Now, let's get into a summary of all of our recommendations. First, we're going to use smart tax planning in order to free up some cash, which we will use alongside your inheritance money as well as your savings money you've set aside to pay off your short-term debt, such as your credit card debt and your student loan debt. We will also use the excess money to pay for an auto down payment as well as the house down payment. And we've structured your insurances in order to manage your risk, as well as we've recommended a new credit card that we believe will benefit you. Finally, we've addressed Riley's long-term college savings and how you can have enough money to pay for her college. And we've addressed a retirement plan to make sure you are safe and secure after you retire. And we also have the final budget plan at the end of your packet. So you can see here we used a lot of sources in order to come to these things. And thank you very much for your time. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, so going back to our budget, sorry, trying to decipher this. Could you just tell me what do you guys estimate is our total monthly budget?
Around $9,500.
$9,500. So now $9,500 is my gross amount of our earnings, but then my employer takes taxes and payroll taxes, and so my actual monthly amount is less than that. So would you guys suggest that we not withhold taxes or payroll taxes?
We incorporated the $9,500 including all taxes as well. The $9,500 is including taxes. We have taxes set aside, as you can see in the budget sheet as well as in the pie chart.
Where's the taxes at?
It's right here.
Right here.
Oh, 14.4%
Yeah.
the taxes, okay.
I had a question on our child's college savings fund. I know that, I think we were talking about putting money in to grow it to $200,000 yearly, yeah. What if our child decides not to go to college? Is that money lost? What are our options if we save all that money and they decide to make a different choice?
So I forgot to mention this, but this money is actually transferable to other college savings accounts, such as a UNEST account, where it can be used for other relatives' education, and it can be multi-purpose. However, there might be some penalties involved with withdrawing it.
Okay.
And then, what is the advantage to paying off my credit card at 18% compared to paying PMI, and how long am I gonna have to pay the PMI? Like, how does that even out?
So for the credit card, your credit card currently has an 18% API on it, or APR, and that's very, very high. It's something we want to get rid of immediately because this charges a large amount of interest, and we want to get rid of it. The PMI, on the other hand, after you pay back 20% of your house worth, it disappears. It's only until you pay back 20% of your house worth.
So do you guys know
And
how
the
long
PMI
it
is
would
only
take me?
incurred. Sorry.
Can you tell me how long? Because I see that you used a calculator on it, so do you know how many years I'd be spending that PMI and what that would equal to?
We don't know the exact years, unfortunately.
While we're on this slide, I had a question on the Michigan Down Payment Assistance Fund. Our realtor didn't mention anything about this. Can anybody get it, or do we have to do anything to qualify?
Yes, there are specific requirements, so it is eligible for first-time home buyers, and it is only available in certain areas. So depending on what your realtor is looking at, what websites and what rates, this can apply to FHA loans and such.
Thank you.
Could you go back to our inheritance? So we inherited that IRA for 24,000. It seems like you have a lot more than 24,000 here that's being distributed. So where's the rest of this money coming from?
That's also
So,
for your tax refund and your savings account.
Okay, so the 10,000 in our savings.
And the 2,000 tax refund.
Okay, and then this is withdrawing the entire IRA.
No, this is only 21,000 of the IRA because we wanted to remain within the 12% tax bracket, so we didn't have to waste the extra money on the 20% tax bracket.
Okay, but we have to pay taxes on that, right?
We still have to pay taxes on it, yes, but we pay less than if we were to pull it all out. So instead, now we pull the rest of the money, so the other 3,700 next year. So we'll still pay 12% on that one as well.
So I kind of like having savings in case of an emergency. Do I have any savings left in your budget at all?
so you can refer back to your budget on the last page. However, we recommend that for your general savings, since we've used all of your cash, we want to ensure that you have some, about 40% into an emergency fund with the 50% going into a high interest, high yield savings account.
You
And
also,
the-
you also have the 1,000 in your checking balance.
And we've allocated money every year. If you see at the bottom, it should be, I think it's highlighted in yellow at the very bottom. The general savings would be going towards your emergency fund. So every year we have 2,300 set aside for that.
So it'll take me 5 years to earn that back, what I have currently?
Yes, but the amount will decrease over time because these are very conservative estimates, so you'll probably have more than that amount since we've allocated like quite a bit of money towards certain things.
And what we've recommended for the emergency fund is about having about 3 to 6 months of expenses stored in your account. Do you guys have any other questions?
Do you have any?
I suppose on the retirement accounts, you said I was able to get up to 5 million, was it, by retirement age?
Yep.
How much are we saving to get to that point, and can you explain that compound interest a little bit more?
Yep. So we are planning to save $5.9 million by the time you retire. Now I will say right here, although it seems like a lot of money now, you have to understand within 40 years, because of inflation, that money will be worth less. But we'll still be saving $5.9 million, and this is assuming you get about an average 4% wage hike every year, as well as that we pay $6,500 towards your Roth IRA, which is maxing it out, and we want to max out your employer benefits, so it'll be $3,900 for Tatum's 401k, and $1,080 for Alex's simple IRA. And for the investing part of it, how we're going to compound the interest, as you can see here, we've allocated to several different portions, and we've calculated to be about, on average, 8% return on your money.
Okay. I had one last question on the life insurance. I think I saw a great graph about the cost and the age, but I didn't actually see how much coverage. Like, how much coverage do you recommend that we take out, or would we get for these prices we're paying?
You would get around 65% covered, basically around all the debts that you're paying off, funeral expenses, stuff like that.
Okay.
And then, so in order to increase my credit score, you want me to pay off a credit card and get a credit card? How
Yes,
does that
we want
work?
you to cancel your old credit card, and we want you to get a new credit card which has more benefits, and we want you to start using it more than your debit card so that your savings can accrue for emergency funds and for general savings. And by using the credit card, we have the confidence that you will be growing your credit score by not going to the limit and also by using bond choices.
By using the Mint budgeting app, also you can make sure you're ahead of your credit card payments and that you don't go overboard on your payments so that you won't have to have any late fees or anything that would reduce your credit score. So your credit score building up.
So what exactly makes up my credit score, do you know?
So the credit score is quite a few things. So one of the major factors that can increase it is by having good long-term, showing that you can pay back loans. In essence, the credit score is just how reliable you are at paying off loans so that the banks know if they can give you the loan or not. So if you, for example, make a late payment on a credit card, they're gonna they'll take some off your credit score because you paid it back late, so you're less reliable in that essence. However, if we take a home loan out, for example, and we pay it back in full, all the things are on time, everything's on top with your new credit score especially, it'll increase your credit score because it'll show you're being reliable with your money, you know how to handle it, and you're not gonna just run off on them, losing them all their money that they gave to you.
Now, as you can see, there's also a credit limit, and that is also one of the factors influencing your credit score. So on a particular month, if you use less of a credit limit, that shows the lenders that you are capable of spending less and budgeting your money so that you are more reliable. And if you use too much of your limit, that shows that you are more risky borrower.
Okay, thanks guys.
Thank
you.